Hey everybody, I'm gonna do a little video about my food plot I have going on right here and my sort of habitat I'm trying to create. So the first thing I sort of have over here is I have a little ditch right here I've made just for water control. There's another ditch over that way and it would flow water just down into here and it just creates a mess and it needs somewhere to go. So I made a little ditch, added some stone check dams in it just to have some sort of erosion control and some like sediment catch. And then right down here at this little cedar tree, it's a pile of dirt, just sort of what I dug up and made a clay bank, and it's sort of a check dam. And the idea behind that is to catch any more sediment that runs through there before it gets all the way to the creek and just stop the water from eroding out this ditch anymore. Because down past this big brush pile, there's a big washed out section, so I'm trying to mitigate the erosion as best I can because of the dam for the pond over here. So next, I guess I'll show you what I have planting and what I have growing over here. I have a lot of clover. It's doing pretty well for the most part. There's some crimson clover. I burned all of this a few months ago, probably 6 months ago, and I burned it. I got a burn permit, did it, me and my brother did it. And I waited till it rained. And once it rained, right before it rained, I broadcasted out here a bunch of crimson clover and a few other varieties of seeds and everything. And I can't remember all of it, but over here is my crimson clover, and it's actually coming up very nice, very healthy. I'm really happy with it. You just see all the little red heads. It's awesome. I already got little bumblebees over here, so it's turning out really good with that, and the burn worked really well. Over here where all the sediment and everything is, I had a lot more seed when I burned, but after the rain, before I had my ditch, the rain washed a lot of this up. So, and then building my ditch didn't help either, but it's what I got, and it's turning out good. And this is really the only bare spot I have over here compared to all this, how green it is. There's a few spots here and there, but for the most part, it's really well green and really well covered and doing really well, and it's really healthy. You may see these gum trees I have. There's quite a few gum trees over here. I mean, there's 2 more right there. There's the main one it's an older one. 2 here, 3 there, 4 more right there, 2 more. 2 more, there's 1 more right there, and then there's a walnut and a poplar, and then I got a persimmon tree. And my persimmon tree hasn't put off any persimmons, but it's doing really well. And if it's not a persimmon, it's either that or a black gum, but I'm assuming it's a persimmon. But it's a really healthy one, and it's doing pretty good. I'm really happy with it. So now back to my gum trees. Starting to girdle some of these. This one I did this probably 3 months ago, and you can see that. And then here's the fresh stuff I sort of done. I probably didn't do the best job on it, but the idea behind this is to make habitat for woodpeckers, and then hopefully eventually, once the woodpeckers makes homes over here, there'll be some screech owls and other critters that move in their old homes, and hopefully that will turn out really well. They'll stand dead for a long time once they die, and gum trees are really resilient, so they'll probably take a while for them to die. But hopefully once it's all said and done, I'll have all the gum trees dead, and then I'll have a variety of chestnuts and maybe some other trees, maybe some more persimmons or something. I have a lot of stumps left over. This is one of the main ones I have. I just haven't cut it down, but there's a lot of little stumps. I mean, there was a bunch of little gum trees in here. I mean, there's my foot, just comparison for that stump, and there's 2 more. There's 2 more over there. There's just a bunch. So I have a lot more work to do, and I've done a lot in the past probably year. I've been working on this. Next, I have some brush piles. The whole idea behind the brush piles, it worked out well. I got it from obviously the gum trees. I cut up all these gum trees and all the sticks and everything laying around here. I cleaned it up. And that's to keep all the bugs and everything else. And I don't know if this actually works, but keep it eating on them instead of tearing up all the good healthy trees like this poplar. There's a nice maple over there, or a box elder, and just to stay off the healthy trees. And so hopefully they'll eat all that and do all that. And I've seen birds go in there and use it for habitat, and they sort of take stuff from it and make it into their use it for their nest. I got 2 of those, and then there's a smaller one over there, but these are really the main ones. And I could burn them, and maybe eventually I will, but I don't want to scorch these poplars right here or anything and take those out. So that's what I have right there. And I guess next I'll show you my sort of main area, I guess is what I'll call it. So here's my deer feeder. I just got a Boss Buck feeder, and I just cut some of those. I cut some cookies. You can't really see them. There's a cookie, there's one, and there's one, and that's my feet for this. And that's just to keep it from sinking in the ground. The first time I got this, I put it all together and got it completely filled up. Didn't have the cookies, and within 2 days it rained, and one of my feet sunk in the ground, and it made one of my funnels go all the way to the edge, and all my corn I had in here, I think I had 200 pounds of corn, completely fell out. So that's not really cool. You don't want to see that. So I made the cookies, and they work great. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It's disposable. You know, I could make something else later once that's decayed and rotten. But that's basically all I got for that. I got some salt blocks, and then my camera right there, just to see what comes through here. And then over here I have my observation cage. So the whole idea behind the observation cage is you want everything in here to be taller than everything outside of it. And so far that is becoming the case. If you can just see, here's everything outside, and then there's the observation cage. And it's like, I mean, it's probably over a foot tall in some parts of it, and there's some clover in there. So all I did was just get a T-post and a wooden stake and got this cage. And it's nothing fancy. It just has to be to stop the deer from really coming in here. And they could probably poke their heads in this and eat it, but they're not. They haven't. I mean, not that I've seen. They've been going after the easy stuff. Here it is, and it's all turning out. There's still a lot of work to do down here. I'm trying to make this into sort of a multi-use area, because this is sort of the food plot and the deer area and habitat area. But then I also have a gun range I'm working on. It's not perfect. It's definitely needs some love, but that's another project I have under my belt I gotta finish. So let me just walk back here, and I'll sort of give you an overview of the whole area. That way you can really see what everything looks like and how it's all progressed. You can really see how green everything is. I burned pretty close to the property line. The property line is that little white stake. It's right there. Runs down to a poplar up there and up there. So I got close to it and then planted everything. And you can just see how green and sort of luscious, I guess, it is. And I did just from this corner around this cedar down, pretty much followed my ditch back to my burn pile, or my brush pile, not my burn pile. Came up and then followed the top bank of the creek, and then made it wrap around sort of straight shot from here to that corner again. And I want to say it's probably 1/4 of an acre, maybe 3/4. I can't remember off the top of my head, but that's what I have. You don't really need a whole lot of area, really, if you're wanting to do something like this. This is what I have. It's not perfect, but I'm slowly working and building it up to make a really good habitat and my own sort of food plot and private sort of game lands, if you will. I haven't seen any ducks or geese. I've seen geese, but no ducks. I've seen I've seen kingfishers, blue herons in here. They go to the pond and fly around there. The geese go to the pond. Seen plenty of deer and squirrel. And then I think that's about it. I mean, I've seen some woodpeckers too and everything. There's a lot of habitat, a lot of animals coming here, a lot of little birds too. So hopefully once it's all said and done, I'll have a really nice area. And I'll give an update once I actually get some more of these trees, the gum trees, girdled, and in probably a few months, and show what's happening to them and how I'll take care of those. I'll try and film maybe felling some of these or something. There's some are kind of big, some are smaller, like that one over there. And then you have like a bigger one right here. It's probably 12 inches at breast height, and then you have a smaller walnut here, and then there's the bigger gum tree. I really don't mind them, but they don't provide anything other than shade down here, which the shade is a good thing, and that's why I'm only girdling some of them now, because I want some of the shade to still be here. That way I can still plant my chestnuts and other variety of trees, and they won't just get burned in the sun, just won't get completely crisp. And it used to be even darker back in here before I even cut out a lot of these gum trees and thinned them. You can just tell. I mean, there's a stump right there. There was 2 trees right there. There was I probably took 10 trees out of here, which is crazy to think they're that close. And all of them were at least 6 inches in diameter, if not bigger, you know. So that's what I have. I hope y'all liked watching this video. If y'all have any suggestions about anything you saw or any comments, put them in the comments, and just let me, I'll read them. I'd like to see what y'all have to say about this. Any tips or tricks would help me out a lot. Anything about the irrigation or whatever would be nice. Thank y'all for watching. If you want to leave a like, I'd appreciate it. And y'all have a good day.